Morning, Herons Glen. My name's J.B. Belknap. I'm the general manager at the Herons Glen Recreation District. I'm joined by Chairman of the Golf Course Renovation Committee, John Ettinger, as well as the Director of Greens and Grounds, Tim Kortanek. What we'd like to do today, this is the first in the series, video series of outlining what the golf course renovation progress is going to be about. We're going to come to you every couple of weeks with updates regarding the course renovation on such topics as progress of each hole, greens construction, drainage irrigation, tee renovation, bunker renovation, so among other things. But I'd like to start with John, and just he can give us a little brief history of how we got to this point. John.
Thank you, JB. The brief timeline of how we got to where we are was starting in the spring of 2017. The Men's Golf Association set up an ad hoc committee to do a strength, weakness, opportunities, threat study of our golf course. It was quite comprehensive. It went through basically everything throughout the course. It was well received by the Men's Golf League, shared with the women, shared with the Board of Directors. I think that triggered the Board of Directors to start moving ahead on a golf course renovation. In the fall of 2017, the Renovation Committee was chartered by the board. Began work right away. In the spring of 2018, Ron Garl was selected among many qualified candidates to be our architect to lead the project. Our first task, which took about a year, was to do outreach meetings. I think there were 8 of them. They were quite well attended. They included men golfers, women golfers, residents, homeowners that are adjacent, anybody in the Glen. We got a lot of input from that. That started the development of a master plan. So the master plan was developed, fine-tuned, and then approved by the board. That then moved us ahead to putting together a set of biddable plans. They were put together, again, reviewed, massaged. It got us to the point where late last fall we had the set of plans. We put them out to bid, had numerous, again, very qualified bidders, very pleased with that. The bids were submitted the end of last year, and we selected the Clark Construction Group to be our contractor. A lot of work went into this, and the question is, who did it? Who was part of the team? Obviously, the Renovation Committee, which includes Tracy McCabe, Mary Koenig, Tom Lambister, Larry Frost, Jack Berkery, Bob Herbstreit, and myself. We were the lead, but we couldn't have done it without these 2 gentlemen with management. Both Tim and JB were very helpful, very active part of the committee, lots of good ideas, and kind of kept us headed where we should be. In addition to that, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the Board of Directors. They've stayed in touch with us. They've helped us. They're quite aware. They're quite interested. Obviously, it's a very large project, and we appreciate them. Again, Ricky Nix, the lead architect, lead designer for Garl, has worked hard on this project and given us lots of good ideas. And we're very pleased to have the Clark Construction Group as our contractor. They're a local firm, well respected, done a lot of golf courses in the area, and we think they're off to a good start, and we're very optimistic that 4 years after our committee was formed, this job will be done. It'll be something we all will be proud of, and that about brings us to what we did, who we are, and how we got there. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Tim is going to be the Herons Glen lead person in dealing with Clark Construction, as well as working with Ricky Nix. Tim, can you tell us about some of the items of the golf course renovation that you're excited about?
Yeah, we're on day 8 currently, and really surprised how much we've gotten done already. The weather's been fantastic. We only had 1 rain day, 2.5 inches on Sunday. But the construction crew currently has been putting in drainage on some of our holes, and I noticed just on 8 alone, we finished doing some of the main drain. We had that 2.5 inch rain, drove by it yesterday, and couldn't believe how clear it was. So that was a thumbs up on, you know, the drainage. So that's been really exciting. We're ripping out a lot of the old drainage that's 4-inch, putting in 10-inch drains on some spots, you know, all the low-lying areas close to houses. So that's one of the most exciting things I've seen going on so far. We started earlier this week. You'll see a lot of mainline pipe starting to get installed. We're ripping out a couple of the greens and getting down to the green tile. It's been really interesting to see what we're finding, you know, beneath the surface of some of these greens and stuff. Other than that, you know, we're ripping out some palmettos and some trees. We started to do a little bit of the work on the bulkhead on 4. I don't think that'll be in this video, but that's pretty exciting to see as well. Yeah, just you name it, everything's pretty exciting.
Right. Well, thanks, Tim. Well, we'd love to have you come up and tour holes number 3, 8, and 9 with us, so stay tuned. Here we are, number 3. Tim, can you walk us through some of the design changes and highlights of this hole?
Sure. The biggest improvement that we're going to see on hole 3 is our drainage. You'll start to see some pop-ups here on the right side of the fairway where they've been laying in drains that tie into the main storm drain. I'll locate it when we get up a little bit further. The whole hole has been tilled, rolled, and scraped so far. We're going through currently today and picking up some of the rocks by hand. Over on the left side you can see some of the drain tile that they're planning on putting in that area where the waste bunker is. Where the cart path ends and connects to the waste area on the right side is where our main storm drain is, where a lot of the work's been going to tie in. You can start to see some of the piping that we're using there for doing the drainage on the right side, as well as some of the stick for the main line. We're going to be throwing some of the mainline irrigation in here pretty soon, so a lot of the pipe you see on the sides of the fairways is either the drain tile or irrigation pipe.
I think one of the things we are going to do as well is expand the tees on hole number 3.
Mm-hmm. And all these waste areas are gonna get freshened up with brand new screenings. With the improved drainage should definitely help the playability.
We'll still have the waste area going down both the left and the right hand sides. Mm-hmm. We are going to renovate the bunkers with new sand, new drainage.
Yeah, and you know, as you can see just from the tilling, you know, like a lot of the weird mounding that was in the middle of the fairway, we're eliminating that. You can't see it right now because we haven't started trucking in the dirt, but once we start digging the lake on 5, we're going to be utilizing a lot of that dirt on the hole 3 as well.
Also, as you can see, we haven't touched the green yet. You'll see on holes 8 and 9 some of the green construction that will be going on.
Yeah, I think both JB and Tim have done a pretty good job of covering what we're doing. I want to talk just briefly about drainage. There's really 3 different drainages going on. There's drainage of the course itself, which is along either side, but as we move ahead, each trap is going to get drainage and each green is going to get drainage.
We'll move to hole number 8. Tim, can you walk us through number 8?
Yeah. So far, hole 8 was where we started the project. This is where we've done the most amount of work to date. You can see we removed the landscape on the walk up to the tee box, and also on the other side. A lot of this was due to the drainage. We had to create the drainage, and the plan called for it to be underneath some of the landscape. So the entire right side has now been fitted with larger drainage pipe, and the left side. I'm pleased to say we had a 2.5-inch storm Sunday, and came through Monday morning, and it was completely dry on both sides, so the drainage is working fantastic. Just from that first little storm, it was great to see.
Tim, I think one of the things that the Gall Design has in store is to reshape the bunker on the right, the fairway bunker on the right-hand side there, and also expand the shell area down the left side of the green.
Yeah, the shell area is going to start about right here on the left side of the fairway and pretty much run all the way up to where that first bunker is on the green side, and the right trap is going to be getting a redesign. So a lot of those pesky palmettos on the left are disappearing. We did get rid of a few trees to make room for that as well. We see a lot of these big mounds here, some of the berry pits we're utilizing for any rock and other materials that we find. And this is the first green that we dug out so far.
And we'll see it on hole number 9, but one of the first items is they're going to shell out those greens and go right down to the floor of the green, and that's where in subsequent videos we will show you how the green is actually developed and made. We are on number 9.
We removed some petunias on the side of the tee. This hole has also been almost fully tilled. We still have to go back with a smaller machine and kind of get in on some of the edges. I would say 95% of all palmettos were removed on the left side of this hole and past. We might have to touch up a few little ones that are growing up. You can see to the right where it's tan of the tee on the bottom of your screen, we're going to have a new tee installed over here. This is also where we've been doing our roadway boring for the mainline irrigation.
Tim, we're also going to extend that cart path.
Yes.
Going from 8 to 9, right?
Yeah, we'll have a cart path going from 8 directly to 9, so you don't have to do the weird turnaround.
Tim, can you describe for the viewers what tilling is, and so that
yeah, essentially we've got a 25-ton tractor with some heavy teeth on the back. Essentially it goes about half a mile an hour, and it scrapes and buries any of the top surface layer to 8 inches. So we're rototilling pretty much head to toe everything. Positive is, you know, from talking to some of these contractors, they feel we've got some of the best dirt that they've ever worked with. So really good news to hear. Now the bunker on the left side, the plan is to minimize that one a little bit and connect it into one bunker so that land bridge is going to be non-existent.
and on the turn, doesn't the master plan call for some fairway support mounding to catch the balls and reshape?
You can kind of see where they're starting to put some dirt over there for that sloping on the right bottom of your screen. And again, you can see the miles of irrigation pipe and drainage that we've done on this hole as well.
Irrigation is not as sexy as redoing greens and tees, but Tim, can you talk about how essential it is for the success of a golf course?
Yeah, real quick, I want to touch here where looks like this is the guys that are doing the bore for the main line. They're going to be cutting across from this spot in the fairway over to the Portofino pump house. But yeah, irrigation, drainage, and these are the infrastructure is the number one thing that can make us the most successful for sure. We've also, in the main irrigation plan, you know, the idea for home lines, we're going to have heads pointed towards the golf course and try to stay away from any heads pointing back to the homeowner's lanai. So that's been a key feature in the master plan.
John, just being an engineer and your experience with silt fencing, can you explain to the viewers what silt fencing actually does?
It's a filter fabric that's installed to prevent material going into water. The water and the silt that's in it flows downhill, comes up to the silt fence. The silt fence filters out the solid materials, the water goes down through it. It keeps us environmentally out of trouble, and although it has an expense, it's the right thing to do. And the other comment that I have is, as Tim said earlier, we're 8 days into the project. I'm super impressed as to the organization and how well we're moving to date. And I think at this point, it's easy to be optimistic.
Thanks, John. As we roll through number 9, I know on the right side bunker there, Ricky and Ron Garl are going to reduce the size of that bunker and reshape the green side bunker on the right hand side as well.
Yeah, and the front left bunker is actually going to convert into a small grass pot bunker.
As you can see, they're starting to core out this green. As we talked about in subsequent videos, we will describe the process of how a USGA green is built, but you can see they're digging that out, and it's quite an undertaking.
That's great to see.
Thanks for watching. We'd like to thank Mike Seiler from TEI. We do want to remind you, please, if you could refrain from going on the golf course. As you could see by the videos, we've got a lot going on. So until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.